A big hello to all my wonderful champions out there. My dearest children, I hope you are doing great. Yes? So, today it's time for a very happy news, and that is this. So, we are going to start off with NEET PYQs as well. I saw a lot of children asking me, ma'am, why are you doing just KCET? Please do something for NEET as well. We need NEET PYQs, ma'am. We are disappointed. And I was so sad seeing all that. So, we decided we should be finally launching something like this. But only in one guarantee, that is, you have to watch it and you have to tell me whether you are understanding. You have to solve the questions with me. Otherwise, what will happen? After some point of time, it will be slowly stopped. So I don't want that to happen. If at all we are starting off something, I want that to continue, and I want all of you to get benefited from this particular thing. Okay? I hope that makes sense to you, and I hope that you can promise me that. Can you give me a comment in the comment section that we promise we will watch the video for NEET? Give that in the comment section, then only I will be believing it. So the L5 or the level 5 of this particular session is NEET PYQs. We have done theory in 3 parts, and then we did KCET PYQs, and now we are gonna do NEET PYQs. So it is not just KCET and PU2 but also NEET. And if you at all you want to download the PDF, it will be given in the WhatsApp channel. My dear children, so next year, not just in the KCET topper list I want you, okay? So KCET, obviously the NEET, the people who prepare for NEET might also be trying for KCET if at all you are from Karnataka. So in that case, someone who has taken both PCB as well as M. So you might be trying for KCET as well as NEET. In that case, I want you here and also in the NEET toppers list. So make sure you are there. Now, there are few people I want to address because those are the most hardworking children I have encountered this particular year. So big kudos to Prajwal. He actually put down the score that he scored in the previous video. He said I got 32 out of 33, which is a perfect score, and my score in the next one I'll get out of out, and I truly wish you get out of out. You can try this also. I hope that it might work really well for you. Now Manvita Reddy said that gave me the answer for the homeworks. That is a perfect answer with homework 1, homework 2 properly written up there, and she even participated, Prajwal and her even participated in the live quiz competition which happened yesterday. My dear children, it would be happening frequently. Be there, okay? Now kudos to you, Lakshmi Nayak, also my dearest child. Thank you so much. Now over here I have, okay, Viresh Bane also gave me the answer. Okay, I tried to correct him. I tried to tell him that, okay, can you look forward? You are very close. And then finally, he gave me the answer. So this takes effort. This definitely takes effort, my dear children. First, you give us the answer, and then without deleting it. Okay, so some people, when they give the wrong answer, they delete it. So I don't want you to do that, okay? So please keep the comment there itself, okay? I'm telling you, you can work really hard, you can try it once more, and then I'm pretty sure you will rework on it and you will remember it better. So here goes the correct answer, and I hope, Viresh, you will never forget it after this, right? And we had Safe Sheikh, not on this video, but on the older video, he said that please have NEET PYQs. Aki Kishore also said that, ma'am, for NEET PYQ in biology, like how other teachers do for PCM. So I hope now your wish is fulfilled and you will make the best use of this. Now, my dear children, before I go ahead, I want to say, read the question carefully and attempt by yourselves first, and then only wait for my answer. In case you get the wrong answer, what you have to do? You have to note down the wrong question number and then come back again. No cheating. Please go through all the lecture videos. If needed, use 2x speed. Now, one new rule that I'm going to put up over here is, for each question you just have 60 seconds to answer, like how we did in the live leaderboard quiz, no? Similarly over here also, just have 60 seconds. That is how you should be habituated. In examination, you do not get that time that you're thinking you will get. So over here, starting the first question, and your 60 seconds also time starts. The shared terminal duct of the reproductive and urinary system in the human male is. So there is a shared duct, as in reproductive and urinary system both are having a common duct. What do you call it? And this is in the case of human male. Is it urethra? Is it ureter? Is it vas deferens or vasa afferentia? Ureter is the one that connects kidney to the urinary bladder. Vas deferens is the one that will be taking away the sperms. Vasa efferentia is also a part of accessory duct. What is it? That is acting as a shared terminal at the end of it. There is a duct where through which the sperm also and the urine also passes. It is urethra, my dear children. Your answer would be A. Within 60 seconds, are you able to answer this question? So within 60 seconds, you have to read an answer as well. That is how you have to do in your examination, right? So like that. I hope this is clear. Going ahead with the second question. Vasa efferentia are the ductules leading from. Okay, vasa efferentia, where do you find it? From where to where is it going? So my dear children, in the testis, what do you have? In the testis, you have rete testis. Okay, first of all, you have seminiferous tubules. Then you have rete testis. From the rete testis, vasa efferentia. Then from vasa efferentia, epididymis. Then from epididymis, you have vas deferens. Right? E for exit. It wants to exit the testis. And then it stays. It gets stored in epididymis and then it goes to a distance. D for that. So my dear children, vasa efferentia ductules leading from what? Vasa efferentia is the ductules leading from rete testis to this. Right? Testicular lobules to rete testis, does it come in between this? No. Rete testis to vas deferens. Rete testis to vas deferens. Does it come in between this? Yes. Vas deferens to epididymis. Vas deferens to epididymis, why do it have to come back? So it's a wrong option. Epididymis to urethra. Epididymis to urethra, which is the terminal duct. Does it come between that? No, it comes before that. So your answer would be B. Again, are we able to answer within 60 seconds? Yes. So for those of you who are not able to understand what you have to do, you can slow down the pace a bit. It will be helpful for you, but this is how we have to practice. These are not very difficult questions. Okay, these are very easy questions. If at all you have a knowledge of NCERT, you can do it. Now, seminal plasma in humans is rich in. Seminal plasma, my dear children, is made up of what? 3 secretions. Okay, or 3 gland secretion. One gland is seminal vesicle, other one is prostrate gland, and the other one is bulbourethral gland, which is also known as Cowper's gland. Seminal vesicle releases what? It releases fructose. Says that sperm, you need energy, please take this. Okay, prostrate gland releases 2 things, that is calcium and also enzymes. Bulbourethral gland is responsible for lubrication. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 things that is being done by what? That is being done by what? The seminal vesicle. All of it together, you call this as what? Seminal plasma. Don't get confused between vesicle and plasma, okay? So this is seminal vesicle secreting this. At the end, all the secretions come together to give what? Seminal plasma. So seminal plasma in humans is rich in fructose and calcium but has no enzymes. But it has enzymes. Wrong. Glucose and certain enzymes. Glucose, baba, it's wrong. It is fructose. Fructose and certain enzymes but poor in calcium. Wrong. Fructose, calcium and certain enzymes. Correct. Lubrication is not there. It's okay. Okay, at least all the other options are there. So you will go with D. Cool. Were we able to solve it within 60 seconds? Yes. Now going ahead. Which of the following cells during gametogenesis is normally diploid? That means during the formation of gametes, which of them is diploid in nature, which has 2n number of chromosomes? Spermatogonia, it is the sperm father cell, the grandfather. So obviously it will be diploid because it has not undergone the meiosis process. So it will be diploid. So this itself is your answer. But let's see the other option. Secondary polar body. When do you get secondary polar body? First of all, you have oogonia. Oogonia forms primary oocyte. Primary oocyte will now undergo meiosis first and it gets secondary oocyte and also the first polar body. Now already it has become half because meiosis have started off. Again this secondary oocyte again divides to form ovum and the second polar body. So it is haploid, it is not diploid. Primary polar body, again no, because I told you primary polar body is a result of what? Meiosis 1. So once meiosis has happened, that means it has become haploid. Spermatid is the towards the end. After spermatogenesis, you get the immature spermatid towards the end. That becomes mature to spermatozoa, but anyways, it is all N. All of them are haploid, not diploid. Only spermatogonia. So your answer is A. Next, the secretory phase in the human menstrual cycle is also called. In the menstrual cycle, my dear children, you have different phase. First was is the menstrual phase, okay. Second one is the follicular phase. Third one is the ovulatory phase, and the fourth one is what? The luteal phase. The follicular phase is also known as proliferative phase, because over here slowly the endometrium starts to reform. Ovulatory does not have another name. Luteal phase is also known as secretory phase. Why? Because over here the endometrium has fully formed and it secretes, okay, endometrium secretes certain important things such as glycogen, such that if at all embryo has come over here, fertilization has occurred, it can give nourishment. So the secretory phase in the human menstrual cycle is also called the luteal phase and lasts for about 6 days. Does it last for about 6 days? My dear children, from the first day of menses to ovulation, almost 14 days. From here to the next menses, again 14 days. So the luteal phase is up to almost 13 to 14 days. Okay, so luteal phase and lasts for 6 days would be wrong. It is not 6 days. Follicular phase is the wrong answer, because follicular phase is known as proliferative, not secretory. Luteal phase and lasts for about 13 days would be correct. Follicular phase and lasts for about 13 days would be again wrong. So your answer would become C. Okay, going ahead, the main function of mammalian corpus luteum is to produce. Function of mammalian corpus luteum. The corpus luteum is formed by what? So the Graafian follicle which is there, it ruptures to release what? To release the secondary oocyte. Whatever is left behind is known as corpus luteum. And what does it release? It releases something which is known as progesterone. So estrogen only, wrong. Progesterone, yes. Human chorionic gonadotropin, wrong. Relaxin only, wrong. My dear children, the corpus luteum releases estrogen and progesterone both. But over here estrogen only is being mentioned, which is why that is option is also wrong. Okay, so progesterone is there, which is why I will say it's correct. If it was progesterone only, then it also would have been wrong. Okay. Now the next thing. Which one of the following statement is incorrect about menstruation? You have to find what is incorrect. Please remember, you have to underline whatever thing is being asked. At menopause in the female, there is especially abrupt increase in gonadotrophic hormones. What are gonadotrophic hormones? FSH and LH. So it is saying during menopause, when a female stop menstruating, my dear children, at this point of time, there will be an increase in FSH and LH, abrupt increase. Do you think it is there? Yes. Why? Because over here, the ovary which is there not producing any follicles, no estrogen, no progesterone, and if estrogen and progesterone are not there, their enemies would be there. Who are those? FSH and LH. They would be increasing in very high amount, my dear children. Okay, so there is no need for maintenance of endometrium, nothing. So at that point of time, estrogen, progesterone level will go down and FSH, LH would be going up. So this is correct. You have to find what is incorrect. The beginning of cycle of menstruation is called menarche. Yes. The last is known as menopause. Not every cycle, okay. For example, from 5th day to 8th day I have. So first is menarche, the last one is menopause. No. The first time someone has periods, it is what? Menarche. The last time someone has periods, it is known menopause. During normal menstruation, about 40 ml of blood is lost. Okay, almost correct. The menstrual fluid can easily clot. Do you think the menstrual fluid can clot? In that way, women would have suffered a lot. My dear children, only if someone has some disease, at that particular point only it will be clotting. Otherwise, the menstrual fluid would be having certain anticoagulants. What? Anticoagulants, which does not allow the clot to happen. So your answer would be D. Okay, now which one of the following event is not associated with ovulation in human female? Release of secondary oocyte, LH surge, decrease in estradiol, full development of Graafian follicle. What is not associated with ovulation? What is not associated with ovulation, my dear children? Release of secondary oocyte? That is associated. That is what do you mean by ovulation, right? LH surge has to happen, then only ovulation could happen. Decrease in estradiol, as in decrease in estrogen. Do you think so? Estradiol is a form of estrogen. So do you think level of estrogen is less? No, my dear children. The level of estrogen goes up. That is why LH also goes up. Okay, I have taught you in the theory session. If you have not understood it, go watch it. Usually they are enemies, but at this point of time when the estrogen is so happy, FSH and LH also increases, and that's when the ovulation happens. So it is not decreased, it should be increased. So this is the wrong statement. Full development of Graafian follicle, yes, that's when it will be maturing and rupturing to produce what? The secondary oocyte. So this is the wrong statement. Now, which one of the following is the correct matching of the events occurring during the menstrual cycle? So, proliferative phase means rapid regeneration of myometrium and maturation of Graafian follicle. So, my dear children, in proliferative phase, which is also known as follicular phase, maturation of Graafian follicle definitely happens, but there is no regeneration of myometrium. Myometrium is the muscular layer, endometrium is the glandular layer, so that is wrong. Secretory phase is equals to development of corpus luteum and increased secretion of progesterone. In secretory phase, does it happen? Yes, just after ovulation, corpus luteum is there, it is formed and it releases progesterone, so that is correct. Menstruation, breakdown of myometrium and ovum not fertilized. Menstruation is breakdown of myometrium? No, it is breakdown of endometrium, wrong. Ovulation, LH and FSH attain peak level and sharp fall in the secretion of progesterone occurs during ovulation. So, FSH and LH attain a peak level, that is true, especially LH. But there is no what you call fall in the secretion of progesterone, that is wrong. So, your answer would be B. Okay, that is the correct matching of events. Now, 10th question, extrusion of the second polar body from the egg occurs. So, over here, my dear children, you have the secondary oocyte being formed. The secondary oocyte is there. This is the ovum that you call, okay. The sperm would be coming in, it would be what you call penetrating through the zona pellucida, everything, and would be reaching over here at this particular point of time. When both of them, they fuse, they come together. Remember, the nucleus have not fused. The sperm will have nucleus here, this guy also will have nucleus, they have not fused. When the guy penetrates inside over here, okay, the sperm penetrate inside, my dear children, what will be happening at this particular point of time? Slowly meiosis would be completed, you will get what? An ovum and the second polar body at this particular point of time. Before fusion of what do you call? Before fertilization, but after the entry of sperm. Always remember that. Sperm has to enter, but it has to be done before, because my dear children, if after fertilization, how can you have the second polar body? Wrong statement, no? Second polar body will be formed when ovum is formed, and you need ovum for fertilization. So, it cannot happen after fertilization. You need ovum before fertilization. That's when fertilization would happen. So, sperm coming in, cleaving inside, at that particular point itself, it happens. Simultaneously with the first cleavage, wrong. After entry of sperm, but before fertilization, correct. After fertilization, wrong. Before entry of sperm, wrong. Your answer would be B. This got repeated 2 times and it came in KCET also. Now, the difference between spermiogenesis and spermiation. What do you mean by that? Spermiogenesis means there are some immature kids. What do you call them? Spermatids. Immature kids, spermatids. They are going to mature into spermatozoa. This is known as spermiogenesis. Spermatozoa is formed. Now, the spermatozoa will leave the seminiferous tubules. Okay, and it is known as spermiation, aviation, living. Okay, they are going. So, spermiogenesis, spermatids are formed, wrong. What is formed? Spermatozoa is formed. In spermiogenesis, spermatozoa are formed, while in spermiation, spermatids are formed. Array, no. Spermiation means you are going out. In spermiogenesis, spermatozoa from the Sertoli cells are released into the cavity of seminiferous tubules. No. Okay, in spermiogenesis, spermatozoa are formed, yes, while in spermiation, spermatozoa are released from the Sertoli cells into the cavity of the seminiferous tubules. This is your answer. D option is your answer. Got it? Yes. So, what is happening? Spermiogenesis, spermatozoa are being formed from where? From the spermatids. And finally, these spermatozoa which are formed, they are going to release. They are going to get released, my dear children, and that is known as spermiation. Now, no new follicles develop in the luteal phase of the menstrual cycle because, why do you think no new follicles develop in the luteal phase? Luteal phase is the last phase. Okay, so one follicle just ruptured as of now. So, why do you think there is no other follicle being made? Follicles do not remain in the ovary after ovulation. Wrong. FSH levels are high in the luteal phase. If it was high, if FSH is high, follicles could have been formed. LH levels are high in luteal phase, still the same. Both FSH and LH levels are low in the luteal phase. Okay, so what happens? LH surge happened, corpus luteum was formed, corpus luteum releases progesterone. Progesterone says that, hey, FSH and LH, you were high, now you go low. We don't want you. Okay, and now when they go low, my dear children, what happens? There is no chance that a follicle can be made, because you need FSH and LH for the follicles to be made. So your answer would be D. Next, identify the correct statement on inhibin. So this is something that we might have not heard in the theory session, but I'll tell you. So what happens is that I told you, during follicular phase, certain follicles develop and becomes mature, right? So there are so many follicles would come together to develop, but we don't want all of them. At this point of time, for example, one follicle with the granulosa cell would be releasing what? Something that is known as inhibin. And now when this is released, what will happen? This inhibin says that, hey, FSH, please do not, make all the follicles mature. Stop your secretion. So it stays FSH to what? Lower down its secretion, such that not all follicles would be going ahead. So identify the correct statement on inhibin. It is produced by granulosa cells, is it? Yeah, the cells of the follicles are known as granulosa cells in ovary and inhibits the secretion of LH, luteinizing hormone. No, it's produced by nurse cells in the testis, as in the Sertoli cells in the testis, and inhibits the secretion of LH. No, nothing to do with that. Okay, next one, inhibits the secretion of LH, FSH and prolactin. Again, we don't have anything to do with that. Is produced by granulosa cells in ovary and inhibits the secretion of FSH. Yes, so this becomes your answer. Cool. Next, match the following columns and select the correct option. Children, I might be a little fast. Why? Because within 60 seconds we have to solve it. We have to solve it. All these things, apart from just one or two questions, are something that we might have not discussed, but all the other concepts we know. Okay, for some of you, it might be feeling that it is very slow, ma'am. Please just tell the answers and go away. I've seen kids like that also. But in that case, please forgive me, okay? So I have to explain a bit at least, right? So match the following columns and select the correct option. Placenta. First of all, whenever you do match the following, you read all the option. Placenta, zona pellucida, bulbourethral glands, Leydig cells. Now you know the function of each of them. You will be able to easily pair them up. Placenta, which is there, what does it do? It produces hormone, human chorionic gonadotrophin. A goes with 2. A goes with 2. I just have one option like that. So let me see other options. So B goes with 3. Zona pellucida goes with 3. Layer of ovum? Yes, correct. Okay, C goes with 4. Bulbourethral gland, lubrication of the penis? Exactly correct. And D goes with 1. Leydig cell goes with androgens. Yes, they produce male sex hormones. So that would also be correct. Your answer would be what? D. Cool? Cool. Now, match column 1 with column 2 and select the correct option using the given codes. Again, mons pubis, antrum, trophectoderm and Nebenkurn. Again, something that you might have not heard, but it's okay. Okay, with whatever we know, we can try to find it out. So mons pubis is part of what? Female external genitalia, right? Mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, all of it. Antrum, you can find it in the Graafian follicle, antrium and the theca layer. Okay, so A goes with 3 and B goes with 4. A goes with 3 and B goes with 4. Now my dear children, I can exclude these options because here B does not go with 4 and here A does not go with 3 as well. So now we have trophectoderm. So I know something that is known as trophoblast, and trophoblast is a part of what? Embryo. So probably trophectoderm is what? Embryo, help in what? Embryo formation, and it's the actual function. The trophoblast, that is the one that you're talking about over here. Now you have Nebenkurn. What is that? So Nebenkurn is the stripes or the spiral forms of fused mitochondria which you find in the middle piece of the sperm. In the middle piece of the sperm, you might have seen something like this, right? So this is what the fused mitochondria that you have, which later on fuses, yeah, and does it work? So this is known as Nebenkurn. So your answer would be D with 2. So D goes with 2, C goes with 1, and hence the answer would be this B option. Okay, so we are learning new concepts as well over here. Now, 16th question. Given below are the two statements. One is labeled as assertion A and the other is labeled as reason R, and we have to find the correct answer. Assertion A says that FSH acts upon ovarian follicles in female and Leydig cells in male. Does FSH act on ovarian follicles in female? That is correct. But do you think FSH acts on Leydig cells? No, it is LH. Remember, L for LH and L for Leydig cells. And the Leydig cells under this influence would be producing what? Androgens, the male sex hormones. So yes. Now the reason. So assertion is anyway false, okay. Now the reason, growing ovarian follicles secrete estrogen in females. Does it? Yes, which is why it is known as follicular phase and proliferative phase. Follicular phase, why? Because the follicles are developing and the granulocyte cells are releasing estrogen, which is why endometrium is also getting proliferated. So growing ovarian follicles secrete estrogen in female while interstitial cells secretes androgen in males. My interstitial cells are what, my dear children? In males, the Leydig cells itself. The Leydig cells itself, which is there in between two seminiferous tubules, the interstitial space. That is why they are known as interstitial cells also. Do they secrete androgen? Yes, I just told you. So both of it, which has been mentioned in this particular statement, is correct. Can I say assertion is false and the reason is true? I can say that. Hence your answer would be B option. Okay. Now, going ahead with the next question. Identify the correct option A, B, C, D with respect to spermatogenesis. So, over here, my dear children, you have gonadotrophin releasing hormone, then LH, then B option. The answer is already written, but for some the answer is not there. Okay, it's okay. So, GnRH goes and acts on pituitary. Pituitary releases LH, luteinizing hormone, and what? And A would be what? FSH. Now, A is FSH. A would be acting on what? A would be acting on Sertoli cells over here. The Sertoli cells then would be releasing what? Certain factors, and these factors would be helping in what? These factors are going to help in what? It is going to help in spermiogenesis. Once more I will repeat. FSH acts on Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells releases some factors, ABP, androgen binding proteins, such that whatever androgen is made over here, it will come and stay over here and help in the process of what? Spermiogenesis. Over here, LH acts on Leydig cells, and Leydig cells will be producing androgens, which will be helping in the whole process. So A is FSH. A is FSH. I have two options like that. B is Leydig cell. B is Leydig cell. Just a second. Yes. So B is Leydig cell. A is FSH, and C is Sertoli cells, and D, my dear children, is what? Spermiogenesis according to your NCERT itself. So hence your answer would become what? C. Cool. Now next question. In the human female, the menstruation can be deferred by administration of, for example, I want late menstruation. Okay, menstruation I do not want to happen it now. I want a bit late menstruation, my dear children, at this point of time. What should be given? Combination of FSH and LH? What is that something that maintains the endometrium, my dear children? It is progesterone and estrogen. So if I want the endometrium to stay intact like that, I should have to give what? A combination of estrogen and progesterone. In that way, probably I can defer the menstruation. Okay? I hope that's clear. Cool? Fine. Going ahead, select the correct sequence for transport of sperm cells in the male reproductive system. You have to say from where to where or how the sperms are transported. So testis to epididymis. Array, epididymis is so far. Okay, epididymis is so far. Testis to epididymis, wrong. Seminiferous tubules first, where the sperms are formed, then the rete testis, yes. From the rete testis, it wants to go out, exit, vasa efferentia, E for exit. Then it gets stored in the epididymis, then it is taken to distance by vas deferens, then it forms a common duct which is ejaculatory duct, and then later opens into urethra, and the end of the urethra is known as urethral meatus. Without even going ahead with the next option, we can say that C is the correct answer. Okay, so here in D, seminiferous tubules, then vasa efferentia, it will be obviously wrong. So your answer is C. Now, 20th question out there. Meiotic division of the secondary oocyte is completed. Secondary oocyte, first primary oocyte divides, you get first polar body and the secondary oocyte. Now this meiotic division gets complete when? It forms ovum when? I just told you. Prior to ovulation? Wrong. At the time of copulation, when sexual act is done? No. After zygote formation? At the time of fusion of sperm with the ovum, at this particular point, the the meiotic division is done, and finally the sperm's nucleus and the egg's nucleus would be fusing. Ovum's nucleus would be fusing. So it is D. Cool? Cool. Going ahead, the middle piece of the sperm contains what? The middle piece of the sperm, it contains mitochondria, which provides what? Energy for the movement of sperm. So your answer would be B. Next question. Ovulation in the human female normally takes place during the menstrual cycle. Okay, ovulation in the human female normally takes place during the menstrual cycle. When? At the mid-secretory phase, in between the secretory phase, do you think it happens? No. Just before the end of the secretory phase itself is the end. At the beginning of the proliferative phase? No. At the end of the proliferative phase, yes. First is menstrual phase, then I told you there is proliferative phase. Towards the end of it, what will happen? Ovulation would be happening. So this is the ovulatory phase, and then you have the secretory phase. Okay. So your answer would be at the end of the proliferative phase. D is the correct option. Next, the second maturation division of the mammalian ovum occurs. The second maturation division of the mammalian ovum occurs. I told you just now. Shortly after ovulation, before the ovum makes entry into the fallopian tube. Until after the ovum has been penetrated by a sperm. Second maturation division, as in you're talking about what? Meiotic division. So it's not the ovum, it's actually secondary oocyte, but it's just there to confuse you. The second meiotic division of the secondary oocyte occurs, that is the actual question. So until after the ovum has been penetrated by the sperm at this point, until the nucleus of the sperm has fused with that of the ovum, no. Before that it has to divide, then only this fusion would be happening. In the Graafian follicle following the first maturation division, no. Your answer would be B. After the penetration has taken place. Okay. Now 24th question. Which part of the ovary in mammals acts as an endocrine gland after ovulation? So which is that something that will be releasing hormones? Which is that part of the ovary which would be basically acting like an endocrine gland, or the one that releases hormones? Stroma, germinal epithelium. Germinal epithelium is the outer layer. Stroma is the innermost content made up of medulla and cortex. No. Vitelline membrane. No. Graafian follicle. Yes. So the Graafian follicle, after it ruptures, it becomes what? Corpus luteum. And corpus luteum forms what? The hormone estrogen and progesterone. That is why it says that it is acting like an endocrine gland. Done? Next one. In the fertile human female, approximately on which day of the menstrual cycle does ovulation take place? 14th day, my dear children. Day 14th. Okay, so if 5 days is given, 5th date is 5. Okay, so you have to add plus 14. So 19 would be coming. So 19th of this particular day, month. So 5th August, then 19th of August, what will happen? Ovulation would be happening. And in and around, it can be 18th also, it can be 19th also, but almost close to that. So it's always on day 14. Next, secretion from which one of the following are rich in fructose, calcium and some enzymes? Male accessory glands, liver, pancreas or salivary glands? Your answer would be what? Male accessory glands. I told you there are 3 glands: seminal vesicle, bulbourethral and prostate gland. Among them, one is paired. One is unpaired. What is that? Your homework question. Homework question 1. What is that which is unpaired? So that was asked in the leaderboard quiz also, but yeah, anyways. Sertoli cells are found in where? Ovaries and secrete progesterone. Do you find them in the ovaries? Sertoli cells. Adrenal cortex and secrete adrenaline. Seminiferous tubules and provide nutrition to germ cell. Pancreas and secrete cholecystokinin, my dear children. It is found in what? Seminiferous tubules, and they are known as nerve cells because they provide nutrition to the germ cells out there. So your answer would be C. Next, after ovulation, Graafian follicle regresses into. What happens to the Graafian follicle? Okay, it regresses into what? Corpus atresia, corpus callosum, corpus luteum, corpus albicans. So if at all it was the first time for you to remember all of things, then probably it might get difficult, but the answer is what? Corpus luteum. It's right there in your NCERT and it's easy. But for the terms, I know sometimes it might be confusing as well. Now 29th question, withdrawal of which of the following hormones is the immediate cause of menstruation? That means in the absence of this particular hormone, menstruation would be happening. So withdrawal of which hormone is the immediate cause? What is that hormone? If I remove it, menstruation would be happening. Is it progesterone? Is it estrogen, FSH or FSHRH? It is progesterone because it is the one that mainly maintains the endometrium. So your answer would be A. Next, in our society, women are blamed for producing female children. Choose the correct answer for sex determination in humans. First thing, are men or women to be blamed for any of things? No. Okay, but still, if women are females are blamed, you should know what's the actual case. The sex is determined by what? Male has two sex hormone, one is not hormone, sex chromosome, one is X, the other one is Y. The females, my dear children, on the other hand, just have two X chromosome. So when the gametes are formed, this or this can go. Suppose this went, from here only X can go, so this will be a female. Suppose this went and from here only X can come, in that case XY came, that means it's a male. So actually who is responsible? It would be the female, it would be the male sex chromosomes which would be responsible. I'm not saying males are responsible, I'm saying male sex chromosomes are the ones that are responsible. So due to some defects like aspermia, no. Due to genetic makeup of the particular sperm which fertilizes the egg, yes, that is the one that determines. Due to genetic makeup of the egg, no. Due to some defects in the woman, no. It's because of the genetic makeup of the particular sperm which fertilizes the egg. That is the one that would be determining everything out there. Now, the scoreboard. How does it look? So you have done 30 questions and you have to let me know what was your actual score out of 30. How many questions were you actually able to solve? And you have to be really honest over here, because I love honesty and that is something that would be leading you to some places out there. And if at all you think this whole thing was really nice and I should be doing more NEET PYQs, you have to comment it down in the comment section and do not forget to subscribe to our channel. And my dear children, wishing you all the best. Please study hard and you are going to top all the exams out there. Wishing you all the best. Bye bye. Take care.